Now, I don't believe in spirits, ghosts, goblins, or the Kardashians. In fact, if I can't smash it with a sledgehammer or eat it in a cereal bowl, then it ain't real. And I'm the first to call out someone with small balls who starts spewing out ghost stories. Let's leave that to the girl guides if you don't mind. And I ain't asking, but some places defy belief systems, such as a small island off the coast of Venice called Poveglia, an island with such a horrific past of horror, heartache, and death. The government forbids any visitors. Well, unless you apply for a visitor's pass, which will cost you about $20, you'll have to wait about a week. When the island were closed down and made off limits in the late 60s by the government, because the mental asylum there ran out of mentals, when it had been accused of subjecting patients to horrific medical experiments, then burying their mistakes around the island. It was then that the public were to learn of the island's horrific past. Because it was during the Roman Empire, the Romans first used the pretty island paradise as a plague pit. Historical documents of the time state that the waters around the island were unable to sustain life, and that fishermen had to be given government loans to fish further afield, because decomposing plague victims had leaked into the waters, giving it a black, tar-like thickness and appearance. I hate when that happens. After the Romans had left, and a couple of centuries later, just when things were starting to get back to normal, along comes the Black Plague, said to have originated in Central Asia. Yeah, that figures. And to have taken up to 200 million souls. And by the sounds of it, half of them were buried on Poveglia. Guess the Italians thought if it were good enough for the Romans, it were good enough for them. But they went one step further and started burying people alive. Nice tits. Well, you know, for a plague victim. Even a person with the slightest sniffle got thrown in a pit and set on fire. Fucking Italians, eh? They got no hearts. I guess it were a long time ago, though. It's said that over 200,000 bodies were burnt, murdered, or just disposed of on the island. I guess you lose count after a couple of thousand. It were in the 1920s that they decided to make the now deserted island a hospital for the insane, which is a good idea, because you'd have to be insane to want to go there. But this hospital were the same concept of the plague victims, one of those places that when they sent you there, they weren't expecting you to come back. There were a doctor in the 1930s who were conducting experiments on the retarded people there, giving them lobotomies with hand drills, sawing off the top of their heads, probably making them listen to Christian rock. I made that last part up. Well, the doctor eventually went nuts himself. Said that the spirits of the island were haunting him. He threw himself off the bell tower. I hope there were a good doctor in the area. Nurses and doctors who worked there, as well as the patients, reported seeing ghostly figures at night roaming the hallways and the grounds. While it's hard to take an insane person too seriously, certainly you'd expect the staff to be of sound mind. Apparently not. So after they closed the nut house down in the late 60s, the place stayed deserted. Yeah, sure, a couple of Arabs probably tried to buy it, but with 40% of the soil content consisting of human remains, I mean, they rightfully backed out. Because who the fuck wants to tan on a plague victim?